Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by 5 Star Painting. Hey guys, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm in the studio with Scott and Ashley from 5 Star Painting, and we're going to get to know what different roles you guys have at the company. So why don't you tell me a little bit about what each of you do first?
You want me to go?
Go ahead, take it away, Scott.
I'm co-owner of 5 Star Painting in Myrtle Beach, and I project manage the jobs, so I'll go out and ensure the jobs are running smoothly. If the client has any kind of hesitations or concerns, I can address it with them. Basically, being project manager, I'm also co-owner, so I also have the hat of wearing, financials. Keeping everything in budget, keeping track of crews, subcontractors, keeping them busy. And that's where Ashley comes in, where she does the marketing aspect.
Yes, you have a little bit of a different role. Tell me all about it.
Yes, so my role is franchise director / co-owner. So I am out in the community. I am the face of the business, being involved in networking groups, meeting different business owners. I also step in being co-owner in whatever aspect I'm needed, whether that's, stepping in the last minute estimate or just tagging along. Sometimes we just like to be together and go out for coffee and try different restaurants. We're really big foodies, I would say. So we love trying new places. We love coffee. It's actually pretty unhealthy. But for us, because we do it a lot, sometimes even twice a day we'll go and get some coffee together. Making sure that our financials are all together, any projects we have going on in a timely manner. We also, interview together for subcontractors and everything like that. We're pretty involved in all aspects of the business. But my main baby is being involved in the community and other businesses and, just being the face of the business.
Love it.
Face of the business.
The face of the business right here.
Hence why I'm here,
She'll be signing autographs after this is done from the station. But, you have a great team. I want to learn a little bit more about your team that you guys have, because that's who's going to be coming into your home and painting.
And we have, our crews are pretty decent. They've been with us since the beginning. We do interviews with them, so it's not like we're just pulling anybody off the street and offer them to paint somebody's house. We do checks on them to make sure everything is up to snuff.
Okay.
And we also do have an estimator on our team as well, which you guys would be seeing whenever he comes out and do a free estimate. He's been with us since February, and he's actually my brother too. So yeah, some people don't see the correlation. But I think we look alike. People say we look alike sometimes.
Definitely.
But he's been with us since February, so he does all our estimates for us, and we'll tag along as well just to be part of it.
That's awesome. Well, for those that don't know, kind of run through the menu of what's available to people with 5 Star Painting. It's quite a bit.
Yes. So we offer a variety of services as it relates to painting, whether it's repair of the the wall or the stucco, or patching any holes when it before we paint them.
Siding, vinyl, hardy plank. The hardy plank can deteriorate over time, so that would need to be replaced. Vinyl also can kind of get a little faded, but vinyl is able to be painted.
Pretty much anything, any prep work that needs to be done before you actually paint, we're able to do that. So for exteriors, we pressure wash the exteriors before we paint them, just to make sure that there's nothing on it with any scraping, anything like that needs to be done before we can actually put a brush and paint on it. We're able to do.
It's all in the prep work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
guys. Well, if somebody wants to learn more about you guys and get in contact with you, what's the best way to do that?
You can go on our website, which is 5 Star Painting of Myrtle Beach, or you could give us a call, 843-654-1390.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by 5 Star Painting.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
This segment is sponsored by AMR Clinical. Hey guys, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I have a topic that I have never talked about on Living Local before. We're talking about HS, and I'm joined by Dr. Coakley and Mr. Brown. Can you guys kind of tell everybody what you do and why you're here today?
Yeah, thanks for chatting with us this morning. So, board certified dermatologist and principal investigator for clinical trials for HS, or hidradenitis suppurativa. It's a lot easier to say HS. Here at Waccamaw, we take care of people with this previously kind of poorly understood disease, where people get tender spots in their armpits, their groin, and it's really disruptive to daily life. And so we've got treatments for it now, but we're here today to talk a little bit about clinical trials and research, because we're trying to stay on the cutting edge of medicine and offer new therapies to people that have been struggling for a little while with it.
And Mr. Brown, you are a patient that has HS.
Right, I'm a patient advocate for HS.
Okay.
So I've been dealing with it now for about 20 years. When it first started for me, there wasn't really much help out there. You could go from dermatologist to dermatologist and be told, we can't help you, it's only gonna get worse, different things like that. For me, it began in my scalp, underarms, and then groin, places that people don't really like talking about or anything like that. So today, hopefully we can raise some awareness about it.
Well, tell me about some of the ways that it can be treated.
That's a great question. So, early on, it depends on the severity of the disease. So typically we start with topical antibiotics, oral antibiotics for early stage disease. And as it progresses, we typically use what we call biologics, which can be injectable medications that work to change the immune system. And they're not necessarily immunosuppressants, but they modify the immune response to try and get rid of the inflammation that causes these tender boils in the armpits and chest, groin, all over.
Gotcha. I mean, you are an advocate for this. What has it been like being able to talk to people about it?
Oh, it's been awesome. It's been awesome to see people's stories and try to keep them from going kind of down the same rabbit hole that I went down. You're already dealing with not being able to find the help that you need. When you go to a clinical trial, you're going to get the care that you need. You're going to be surrounded by doctors and medical professionals that understand your disease. So you're already running around trying to figure out, who can help me. They understand. They haven't just seen a YouTube video, they understand and have worked with other people that have HS. If you are lacking in insurance or you're worried about your insurance, if your co-pays to see a specialist are extraordinarily high, you don't have to worry about that in a clinical trial. The other thing, you're gonna help millions of people. You're gonna help so many people that you'll never see their faces. They will never have to go through the pain that you're going through as well. And obviously it's a clinical trial, so you will be compensated, and it is a commitment. It's not something where you're gonna show up once, twice, 3 times. You're gonna have to be committed to the process, and you're gonna help so many people. My experience was largely positive and would do it again.
All right, that's always good to hear. Well, if somebody's watching right now, they want to be a part of the trial, how can they do that?
Right now, as Mr. Brown mentioned, we're looking for patients that are suffering from HS, that aren't adequately treated, that have moderate to severe disease. That's impacting their daily lives. And we've partnered with Sanofi, who's sponsoring a clinical trial to try a new medication. So if you're interested in enrolling in the study for hidradenitis suppurativa, or HS, you can go to amrclinical.com. As Mr. Brown mentioned, it is a commitment, because if we're studying a new medication, we want to be very methodical and very thorough. And so there's certain visits to follow up. We're going to track symptoms. Of course, that's a time commitment from the patient. And so for this study, there's roughly $4,000 in compensation that's available to patients that are enrolling, because it is a big commitment of their time. In a trial format, it's a little bit different than seeing your doctor and then coming back 2 months later for a check-in, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to want to start a medication, and we're going to want to watch you a lot more closely for safety reasons, for efficacy, to see how the symptoms improve. But we're enrolling currently at our Waccamaw Dermatology location at South Strand Medical Center. And you can find more details at, again, amrclinical.com.
This segment is sponsored by AMR Clinical. Well, thanks so much for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined in the studio with Charles from Long Bay Symphony. How are you doing?
Just fine, thanks.
Awesome. Okay, tell everybody a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm the music director of the Long Bay Symphony, which is this region's professional orchestra. And you know, it's funny because as much as we've been around, I think, gosh, it's, and now I can't remember exactly, it's our 36th, 37th season. Wow. They're going to kill me in the office for not remembering the exact year. But we've been around a while, but for a cultural institution, it's not that long. And since people are, you know, it's so transient, people are constantly moving into this area from primarily the Northeast or the Charlotte area or wherever. And it's amazing how, in spite of all we do, people don't know they have a professional symphony orchestra in town. Yeah. So we do, of course, our traditional subscription concerts, classical things, and try to make that as varied as possible using, you know, ballet dancers and, you know, just as much variety as we can. But our biggest thrust over the past several years has been to do more diverse programming and more outreach. So we've done things like the New Year's Eve concert that we do and a gala, to, of course, Messiah performances in December. Also a Gullah to Gospel program involving a mass gospel choir in March. We've done patriotic war and peace concerts for the past several years over Veterans Day weekend. And so we're just out there in the community reaching all segments of the community, with a lot of those concerts being free, sponsored by the Chapin Foundation and other organizations. So that's kind of our mission, is to be out there and be a part of this community. And it's amazing, invariably after a concert, I'll have someone come up to me and say, "Oh, this was amazing. I had no idea we had a professional orchestra in this area." Which is sort of why I'm here today.
Yeah, we're spreading the word.
Yeah.
And these are talented musicians that deserve to, you know, get some spotlight on them.
Our musicians basically play in orchestras throughout the region, in the South Carolina Philharmonic, Wilmington, Charleston, you know, all of the general area, and they just travel. A lot of them are professors at universities, or, you know, so it's, you just go where the activity is.
I love it. Well, today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, ice cream, and I'm joined by Chris. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine today.
All right, you guys are Island Treats here on Pawleys Island. Tell me about what you guys offer here.
38 different flavors of ice cream, milkshakes, sundaes, hot dogs,
A little bit of everything.
pizza, everything.
Love that. And you guys are a mom and pop shop. You've been here for 7 years, a staple here in the community. What's it like being able to see the smiling faces come through every season and off season as well?
Off season, because we're open all year long, same hours, everything. So people don't think people come in for ice cream during January and February, but they do, because we have a lot of snowbirds that come down. So, but yeah, it's fantastic to see everybody come in. The kids got the play deck out here to play on and everything, and it just keeps them entertained, and ice cream's a favorite for everybody.
Indeed it is. I was going to say, this is such a pretty location. You guys are right on this little, is it a pond?
It's a little pond,
Little
yes.
pond right here. And kids are able, or adults, are able to feed the ducks and geese?
Ducks, geese, koi fish,
Ooh.
turtles. We got a little bit of everything in the pond.
What is y'all's goal with this business?
Serve God. You come in and people write their Bible verses and everything. When we moved here, we prayed, we did a fast to come here to have Him show us what we're supposed to do. We praise Him for everything that we have.
7 years later, it's definitely worked out well, huh?
It's a blessing.
So one thing you guys do is you want people to be able to enjoy as much as they want to, right?
Correct. When you come in, we have so many flavors that a lot of times it's hard to choose. So we'll let you taste whatever you want. We'll mix and match anything you want into one scoop. If you want 2 flavors, 3 flavors, we could turn that into one scoop for you.
Beautiful, because sometimes you just can't choose. It's so hard.
No, you want to try everything and eat everything.
All right, perfect. I definitely want to do that right after we're done here, but where can people find you guys? What's your address?
We're located in the Island Shops in Pawleys Island.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Guys, welcome to Atlantic Beach. I am chatting with Patricia, who is a historian and knows everything about this area. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. And you?
I'm doing great. I want you to teach me what Atlantic Beach is all about. There's a very rich history here.
Yes, Atlantic Beach was founded in 1934 by a guy named George W. Tyson. He came from Wilmington, North Carolina. He had been in the war, and as a result, he decided that he was going to come here. There was a guy named R.V. Ward that sold him the first two streets, 29th Avenue and 30th Avenue, for $2,000. Okay? 1934 was a time of depression, so of course he didn't have a lot of money, but he was able to gather money from his wife's family, which was the Baldwin family out of Conway, South Carolina, and they were able to get the money. A few years later, there was a lady named Viola Bell that she wanted to sell the next two streets, which is 30th, 1st and 32nd. Okay. And so she sold it to him for $600, but it had a mortgage on it, and he had to take up the mortgage. Now, he was able to do very well for a few years with that, but he got into some financial problems, and he had to set up an organization called the Atlantic Beach Company. And the Atlantic Beach Company, he was a smart man to first see that he was in financial problems, and he needed to resolve that. So he got the doctors, the lawyers, the dentists, the professors, president of universities, the top blacks during that time, to buy land, particularly on this street right here in front of us, and which is Ocean Boulevard, and this street here, okay? And so they bought this, and I think his intentions was, you know what, these other people have money, and maybe they could keep paying off whatever they need to do or to maintain this, and he was true about. Another thing he was also very particular about on the ocean front was to make sure he put in the deeds there would be, on most of these lots here, no type of, he didn't say it was high rise, but he said it would only be residential, houses could be built. And that purpose was so that you would have the view, basically, of the ocean. And today, since 1934, there have only been two buildings, the Gordon Motel and also Holiday Motel, that was here. In 1954, although the Garden Motel was one of the most fabulous motels for the black people during this time. This is a period of segregation, so we didn't have any place to come to, because they wouldn't allow us unless we were working as babysitters or cooks or maids or something in the motels in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. We had no place else to come. He decided to make this a place where blacks could come. And like I said, he made sure he wanted that ocean view to be reserved for anyone who wants to come and live on, and he put it in the deeds. And that's why today, even though they put two motels, different governments was able to allow the Gordon and that one there, 1954, Hazel knocked the Gordon Motel down, and it was later on when Hugo came along, it finally knocked the rest of this down. But before that happened, they had all kinds of things here. It was like an amusement park. Okay, and so you had all kinds of like Ferris wheels, merry-go-rounds, bumper cars, anything you could think of, like the arcades and stuff would have. They had this. People came here every weekend and celebrated, and these streets were packed. Particularly, this is Main Street, particularly Main Street. It was packed with people who came. They got here any way they could. They said that people had actually trucks, flatbed trucks. They jumped on those. Some of the people came at even earlier time with horse and buggy, just to enjoy the water, to enjoy themselves for the amazement of enjoying the beach. And so many businesses started along the streets and stuff.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.